Here's a few stories coming up on this week's episode.
And my mom was filming it, and she goes, "Oh shit," and shuts the camera off. And I was so embarrassed. He tried to get me to make pipe bombs with him, and he got arrested. And I'm yelling this in the church.
In the front of the church?
That kid's dead.
What? So glad you're here, because every week we love talking about people's ridiculous childhoods, and today we have a guest who's got some real gems. He's the host of Wrong, an Effed Up game show, and his name is Jay Light.
That's my name.
That is your name, Jay. What's up?
I'm doing well. I'm a little tired today.
Yeah, why
I
is
was
that?
flying back. You caught me. I just got back from Texas.
Wait, you flew
Behind
back
the
today?
8 ball. Yeah.
No, you didn't.
I did fly back today.
It's a great honor to have you.
I'm happy to make it
You
down.
got off a plane like an hour or two ago.
I got off the plane at Burbank Airport,
Oh my God.
and I had a meeting for my job, and then I came over here.
So is Texas where you grew up?
It is.
Okay.
I grew up in the suburbs of Dallas.
All right.
A little place in the between Dallas and Fort Worth called Colleyville.
Okay, Colleyville, great
Yes,
name.
named after Dr. Colley.
Who is Dr. Colley?
He's a doctor, and that's all I can
That's all
remember
you
about this
know.
guy.
Okay, cool.
Nobody knows who Dr. Colley was. Nobody cares.
Right.
It's just he's the guy.
And that's the name of
It's
your
his town. It's his city.
Meanwhile, he killed hundreds of patients for malpractice, and nobody
Yeah,
knows.
he was the Dr. Kevorkian of,
Yeah.
of post-Civil War Texas, and yet nobody thinks about it.
Yeah, he's the actual doctor that created Frankenstein.
Yeah.
So you grew up in Colley. How big was this town?
Colleyville was it was technically a city, so I don't know what the cutoff of us between a city and a town is. And it was really insular. It was a very gated community type of place.
Can you think of any kooky neighbors you had or in the area?
I lived in a neighborhood with a lot of former baseball players.
Really?
Yeah.
Like in the MLB?
Yeah, apparently.
No way.
So we used to have, I think he moved out right before we moved there, but Jose Canseco used to
No,
live at
he
the end of my
didn't.
block. Yeah.
Jose Canseco?
The Jose Canseco.
Of the Ninja Turtles movie fame?
Yes, indeed.
No, he didn't.
Yeah, he lived at the end of my block, apparently.
Okay.
There was my across the street neighbor. She did not let her kids watch Rugrats because she said God didn't make ugly people.
My mom wouldn't let me watch it because the doctor's name was Lipschitz, and she said, that's a bad word.
I'm glad that's not the reason I was thinking she wasn't going to let you watch it.
Yeah.
We had, do you know the musical Come From Away?
No, what's that about?
So it's a show about, on 9/11, there was a lot of planes that got diverted. And there was this one plane that was diverted to a town in Canada. And the pilot of that plane lived in my neighborhood growing up.
He didn't. Okay.
Yeah. She was the first female pilot in American Airlines history.
What?
Yes. And she is now a character in a musical.
Right.
Her kids were horrible. I really did not like her kids.
So you had like the Amelia Earhart of your region living
Yes.
in your neighborhood, and you hated her children.
Yeah.
Why is that?
They were just like classic. There was like a real vibe in my neighborhood of the kids were all hanging out with each other in the cul-de-sac-y kind of way.
Right.
And I just never got along with any of the kids.
Okay.
The closest thing I had to a friend in that neighborhood, I went to one of his birthday parties. He was like a year younger than me, and he gave out Pokemon cards as a party favor. And I opened my pack at the party, and I got a Charizard.
No way.
Yeah. And I then got kicked out of the party because he started throwing a tantrum, and his mom, who is so
I want
sweet.
to add, that sounds like something I would do at my birthday party.
Yeah.
I would just throw a tantrum.
Well, 'cause-
no, I want it.
Yeah, I was like, I'm not gonna give this to you. This is mine.
Yeah.
And his mom was really nice, and she was like, I think it might be a good idea if you go home. And I was like, yeah, that's fine. I got a Charizard now. I don't got to worry about this. And then I think a week later, he was apologetic, but also he was like, I want that Charizard. What will it take to get the Charizard? So I told him he could trade me his entire collection of Pokemon cards and the binder that they came in.
Ooh,
For the
baller
Charizard.
move. Did he do it?
Yes, he did.
No, he didn't.
Yeah, and it was like a thing. Like everybody, the other kids in the neighborhood were like coming around the house. They're like, "Oh my god,
That was the drama
The deal's
of the
finally
neighborhood.
happening."
Yeah. That's wild. Do you still have the Charizard? Or no, you gave it to him.
I gave
Do you
it to
still
him.
have the Pokemon cards?
No, I just sold the Pokemon cards very recently.
Oh, you did?
Yeah, my sister and I finally got together because she and I combined our collections.
Okay.
And we found there were a couple cards that had some value, nothing crazy.
Right.
So we decided, well, let's just combine our
called
stuff.
up that kid and you're like, what does it take to get the Charizard
Oh no!
back?
Oh, I wish I could. That kid's dead.
What?
Yeah.
What? Wait, what are you talking about?
So this is the other thing.
Who was it, and why did they do it to get the Charizard card? What happened?
It was all a ruse.
Yeah.
It was all Team Rocket. No, this is the other downside. My neighborhood had a lot of, like I said, there's a lot of really weird, seedy underbelly kind of things in the suburbs. Like my neighbors immediately to my left, we suspected for many years that they had a meth lab.
What?
Yeah.
I like that I asked you if you had any weird neighbors, and
then
that
I
was
was
not
like,
the one you brought
no.
up.
Well, it took a minute for
One
me to
guy
be like,
was
oh yeah.
religious, one guy mowed the lawn, not a lot. Oh
And
yeah, meth
there's a
guy.
meth lab
There's a
guy.
meth lab next door.
I think he didn't even strike me as weird because I'm just like, oh yeah, that was like he was there for a long time. The meth lab guy. It's not even that weird.
Right. Well, what makes you say there was a meth lab next door?
Because when the family, it started out as a family, and then it all got whittled down to the oldest brother or son, I guess, depending on what you're looking at. And then it became apparent that he was doing something nefarious out of the house because there were a lot of other people who were coming to the house at like crazy hours.
Right.
And then I think he got evicted or the house got foreclosed on or something. And when they went inside to do an assessment of the house, they found that like there was graffiti all over the walls. There were like scorch marks in the garage from like where stuff had exploded.
Right.
So they had to do a lot of very professional style cleaning.
Right. Like in the hazmat suits,
Mm-hmm.
they come out tweaking on meth.
But yeah, no weird
We
neighbors.
didn't find any meth in there at all.
Everybody totally normal in my neighborhood.
That's wild.
Yeah.
That's all your weird neighbors.
And then yeah, the other neighbor who died, who was
That's the Charizard.
that's
kid.
the Charizard kid. I actually don't know how he died. I think it might have been something drug related.
Okay.
But I do know because he tried to get me to make pipe bombs with him.
Okay. What, you made pipe bombs?
Yeah, no, I didn't make
Did
pipe
he
bombs.
make pipe
He
bombs?
made pipe bombs, and he got arrested for
How
making
old
pipe
was
bombs.
he when this happened?
13 or 14.
Okay.
And I was a year older, so we'd lost touch. The Charizard thing really burned our friendship down.
Right.
And then he got back
And
in
then
touch.
he's like, you know what I think might bring us together?
Is building some pipe bombs. And he did. He reached out to me on AIM.
Instant messenger.
And we started to like rekindle our friendship a little bit, but he was telling me about like things were not going well for him. And then he was like, hey, do you want to build some pipe bombs with me? And I was like, I'm good. And then yeah, he built the pipe bombs and left him by the playground by our house.
What?
Yeah.
Did the cops find them?
Yeah. He got perp walked.
What do you mean?
He was in the front yard of his house. He
Playing
had the whole.
hockey or
He had
something?
the heads.
A 13-year-old kid?
hands on the head.
Did you
knees
see
on the
this?
ground. My mom saw it,
Okay.
and she was like, "You can't believe what just happened over at I'm not going to say their names, but
Right.
at these people's house,
Yeah.
down the street."
It's like, now's your chance. Go get that Charizard card.
I should have known. He
Yeah.
probably pawned it off for cigarettes and jewelry. I
That's
should have known.
crazy.
Yeah.
So this was the like one kid you did get along with? Because you said you didn't get along with most of the neighborhood, right?
Yeah, this was the only kid. But like I said, the Charizard really tore our friendship
Right.
apart.
Now, when you got bullied, it wasn't by him.
No.
Did it ever get like physical, or like how bad did the bullying get?
The worst, I never got like beat up or anything. It was
Right.
a lot of just like teasing and like being the sort of, I wanted to be a popular kid, but the
Right.
best way for me to do that was to be like the punching bag of of the popular kids friend group.
Right.
So I was just there, and people would like make fun of me, and I was like,
If you guys want someone to shit talk, I'll come.
exactly. If you guys need someone
That's a
to,
clever strategy.
it worked.
Yeah.
Because after school, like I was just a big nerd. I was like the people who I was actually hanging out with outside of school were like kids who loved Magic the Gathering. And you ever play World of Warcraft?
Yeah.
It was a game before World of Warcraft called Asheron's Call. You ever heard of
No, I
Asheron's
haven't.
Call?
Sounds amazing.
It was great. It was like one of the first MMO RPGs.
You said you had a sister.
Yep. Got a younger
Was
sister.
that your only sibling?
Mm-hmm.
Which one of you two was the bigger troublemaker, would you say?
Oh, me.
Oh,
For sure.
Really?
Yes. I don't think neither of us were natural born troublemakers, but I was
Obviously.
more of the handful for my parents.
Okay.
I think
Who would lay down the law in the house, mom or dad?
it was mom. Mom was
Oh,
laying down the
really?
law. Oh,
That's
yeah.
a first on the podcast.
Really?
Yeah.
Oh, that's interesting.
Dad was around, right?
Dad was around, but my dad worked a lot.
Okay.
My dad was a vascular surgeon.
What kind of stuff would you get in trouble for?
I wasn't exactly like a class clown type, but I would say the wrong thing at, I guess you could call it like the funniest time often.
Depending on who you ask.
Yeah. Like this goes way back. The first time I ever heard of me doing this, I don't even remember doing this, but I was told that I did this. I was 3 years old. My sister was getting baptized, so she's an infant. And apparently that day we had been playing that we were all Disney characters. And I was saying the whole day that my sister was Minnie Mouse. And my sister is getting baptized, and the priest is like, what name is to be given to this child, whatever the baptism script is. And my parents are saying her name, and I'm like, no, her name's Minnie Mouse. And I'm yelling this in the church.
In the front of the church?
In front of the church. And my mom
How
has
old
to
are you,
like take, I'm
probably?
3. And my mom had to take me out of the sanctuary because I was being too disruptive and telling everybody her name was Minnie Mouse.
Right.
So I don't remember doing that, but that was like, I think probably a formative story for my sensibility.
The birth of a comedian.
Yeah.
No filter at all.
I'm telling it like it is. Up there with a little candy cigarette. Her name's Minnie Mouse.
You said you're a big church family, so you guys probably spent a lot of time at church.
Yeah, I was going to church a lot, and we're there for a lot. So we're doing Sunday school, we're doing a church service, or when I started getting a little older, then it's youth groups, or hanging out in the afternoon.
Were there any kooky characters at the church or people that stick out in your memory?
There's this one guy. He was technically, because he was born on leap day, so he would always say like, "Oh, I'm like 8 years old," when he's
like 60.
Yeah. And this guy, I love this guy. This guy was great, but he was he was like
this guy too.
that kind of a vibe where I'm like, okay, cool. But we went to Six Flags a handful of times. We probably like an annual Six Flags trip.
Mm-hmm.
On the drive back one year, he got pulled over.
The leap year guy.
The leap year guy. And we get pulled over, and he's like, okay, I'm going to teach you guys how to handle the cops if you ever get pulled over.
Okay.
And so then we basically...
I intentionally got pulled over for this very purpose.
Yeah. They're not teaching you this in the New Testament.
Yeah.
So you gotta get your education now. But yeah, but that's like something I think about all the time. If the times I've gotten pulled over, I sort of go through the checklist of like, what did this guy do?
Okay.
Which was like...
So what did he do?
He was like, keep your hands on the wheel. Don't do anything unless the cop asks you to do something. And I turned the light on in your car at night too, so that way the cop is not like freaked out.
Right.
But I think about that stuff anytime I get pulled over, which
Yeah.
happens not super often, but enough where I'm like, oh yeah, I remember Mr. Leap Year. I remember Mr. Leap Day saying his things.
That's awesome. We kind of glazed over getting in trouble with mom.
Yeah, I think...
Did you ever get caught like sneaking out or anything?
No.
Or sneaking booze or
Never.
stealing anything?
I was as far as that side of things go, I was a pretty good kid. And then there was one really big time.
Okay.
The biggest, like, I got in trouble time.
Oh, you got in trouble.
I did get in trouble.
I knew it.
When the internet came around, of course, my parents were like, okay, be careful on the internet.
Uh-oh.
You never know what's going to be out there.
Yeah.
At a young age, I'm going into chat rooms. I'm doing the whole like ASL lying about your age thing. And then
You're like, I'm a 25-year-old woman with blonde hair.
of course, yes. There's some. I remember who it was. I saw somebody on stage the other day say something like, you think that the internet's all about creepy adults tricking kids, and it's really about creepy kids tricking adults.
Yeah.
And it felt so accurate to the way that my childhood was. At this point, I'd managed to be like good enough on the family computer that my parents got a computer that was upstairs by my bedroom.
Okay.
So they're like, you can't have a computer in your room, but you can have a computer that's outside. Once my parents were asleep, I would sneak and like watch porn on the computer.
Oh no.
And then one night I got caught
Right.
But I had cleared the history.
What kind of cot? Were you in the middle of?
Yes.
No, you weren't.
I was right in the middle.
No, you weren't.
And
You were in the middle.
I had a blanket covering me and the computer, so that way nobody knew what it was.
Who caught you? Your mom,
My mom.
your dad, or your mom?
My mom caught me.
In the middle.
Yeah, she was like, "What are you doing?" And she was very.
I can imagine you remember that exact moment vividly.
Oh yeah, I think she said go to. I think she said like go to bed or something like that.
Mickey Mouse on the blanket or something. Mickey Mouse is trying to close his eyes.
He's covering his eyes. Oh no! Don't look at that.
So did she know what you were doing at this point?
She probably could put two and two together because her naked son had covered himself with a blanket and ran back to his room and closed the door. But I could hear her. I was lying there awake in my bed, and I could hear her like clicking around on the computer trying to figure out what I had been looking at specifically, which I had known well enough to like clear the history at that point to figure it out. They never exactly found out the specific things I was looking at, but they took my keyboard away as punishment.
Okay.
So I couldn't look up.
But you could still use the computer?
Yes. I think it was just like a year later, maybe 2 years later. All on my mom's side of the family's from New Orleans. And then Katrina happened. My cousin, who's like a year younger than me, moved in with us so he could go to school while his family figured out what to do with their now flooded house.
Right.
And because I have a cousin and we're sharing a room, then my parents are like, all right, you guys both are going to need a computer for schoolwork. I guess we'll let you put a computer in your room because you're sharing a room.
Right.
So nothing weird's going to happen. And then because this was like the stipulation, my parents installed a really advanced net nanny software that basically took a screenshot of what was on the screen every 10 seconds or something like that. My cousin goes back to New Orleans. He's there with us for like 6 months. Goes back for the second semester, and I'm like, computer's still in the room. I got to get this software off of here. I got to figure out how to solve this. So I put on my little teenage hacker brain, and I figure out how to install a keystroke logger onto the computer. Do you know what that is?
Yeah.
So for those who might not know, it's anything that logs every input on the keyboard. And so I was like, cool, because the software had a password.
Right.
So I was like...
The nanny monitoring
The nanny software. So I was like, if I can figure out how to get their password, because they have to log in every single time, I can go in as an admin and delete the software. I figured out how to install this keylogger. I found the password amidst all of his other text inputs.
Right.
It was one of the like most satisfying moments of my childhood, aside from when I got a dark battle duck in Neopets. That was a great moment for me.
Yeah.
I log in, I delete the software off of the computer completely. The program itself, the application was still there, but like all of the files were gone.
Okay.
I had deleted all of the actual like logged files.
Right.
And so my dad comes up and he tries to access the software, and he sees that there's nothing showing up in the folders. And then, you know, I'm sitting in my bedroom while he's doing this. And then he just kind of looks around, turns to look at me, and he just kind of nods, and then he walks out. And I was like, all right, we're back in business. So yeah, that was I think that was the moment where my dad figured out that I was a little bit savvier with the internet.
That is an amazing story of David versus Goliath.
Yeah.
And I love it.
Well, it's rare because it's the first time you outsmart your parents. It's a real rare occasion.
Yeah.
But you savor that moment.
The one thing I always thought was missing in the David and Goliath story is masturbation. So
yes.
I'm glad we got that.
You know, there's a lot of masturbation in the Bible, and it's really left out of the David and Goliath story. So much more in the other books of the Old Testament. Not enough in David and Goliath.
So before we started recording, you said you had a good story about your first job.
My first job I ever had, I was a Little League umpire. And being a Little League umpire is not fun because when you start out, you're 13 and you're getting yelled at by 40-year-old men who are upset about you blowing a call
For their 5-year-olds.
For their 5-year-olds, yes. for a game that none of the kids on the field are comprehending playing at all.
Yeah.
And the adults are so mad at you.
The kids are just running into the wall like a fly into a glass window.
Yeah, exactly. Anyway, so I was walking home because the ballpark was like close enough to my parents' house that I could walk to it or from it if I could not catch a ride. And on my walk home that day, I found a porn magazine that someone had left behind in like a ditch. And I picked it up and I looked at it and I was like, oh, this is crazy.
Yeah.
I can't believe this is just like here.
I better bring this home and throw it out so no kid looks at it ever.
Well, I didn't immediately bring it home.
Okay.
I put it back in the ditch. So then the next time I'm walking back and I see the porn magazine again and it's wrapped around a VHS tape.
What?
Yes. So
this is bizarre.
So I get both and I take them home and I hide the VHS tape in my closet. I don't know what it is, but I'm like, this is probably.
I thought you were, for a minute, I thought you were going to say, I put the VHS tape in and it was my dad going, we laid a trap for you.
Staring right into the camera. Yeah. How's this for password theft, Jay? But it was a porn magazine, obviously. Right. I was like, this is wild. And my parents, neither of them were home. My dad was working late. My mom had started working again at this point. At this point, I'm like 14 or 15. I don't know if you could tell, I was the kind of child who owned multiple swords.
Okay.
That I
Love
just
that.
collected.
I'm really interested to hear how the porn video connects to the swords.
We didn't have a VCR anywhere else in the house except downstairs, so I was watching it downstairs. And then I hear the garage start to open, and I'm like, oh no!
Oh no!
So, and I'm clothed. I'm just watching this. So I get the VCR. This might be the fastest I've ever moved. I get the VHS out of the VCR.
Like the Flash.
I take it upstairs to my room. I throw it into the closet.
There's a burn trail down the hall from where you just ran through.
There's like the smoke outline of me is still in the living room.
There's a Kool-Aid man hole through the couch.
I'm just punched all the way through. And then, so I was, in my head, I was like, I'm going to be too tempted to watch this tape. And if my parents find this tape, then I'm doomed. So I have to destroy this tape. So I took one of the swords and I like destroyed the VHS tape like it was the ring in Lord of the Rings. And I stabbed so many holes through this VHS tape, and then I threw it away. And then I took the porn magazine, the meth neighbor. Mm-hmm. He had a younger brother, I think, and I will say I had a bad relationship with this younger brother also. Okay. He was one of the many horrible to me kids in the neighborhood.
Did you set him up?
You know how in the magazines they always have the like bill me later option?
Yeah.
So I didn't know about this. I learned about it from Calvin and Hobbes and I was like, oh, cool. So I found this. I wrote their address and I checked bill me later and I wrote the kid's name. And I was like, this is going to be devious. But yeah, so I may have helped contribute to the downfall of that family now that I think about it. But otherwise, I was a pretty good kid. But yeah, so then I stopped being an umpire after that too. It was a good enough gig.
That, we went to church twice a week.
Yeah. This was around the time, you may have gathered this by now. This was right around the time that I stopped going to church as much. Couldn't have reflected in my childhood at all.
I love that. Did we ever get to the first job story? Oh, the umpire thing.
Yeah.
Okay. We did get to it.
Yeah.
Okay. So that's it's home. It sounds like you're a very nice, regular kid.
Yeah.
Was that how you were at school? Were you?
Pretty much.
All right.
Like I said, I was a kind of
class clown.
Not exactly, but like occasionally I would say like the funny thing at the wrong time.
Did you ever get a big laugh in class ever?
Oh, yeah.
Do you remember any?
I grew up in Texas, right? In Texas, high school football is gigantic.
Yeah.
And I had at this point turned my energy into this thing that we had at my school called the Pep Boys, which is basically writing sketches that are making fun of the football players and cheerleaders, and we would do them at pep rallies the day on game days.
So you would just roast the team
exactly
before their big game.
Yes. So that was like I tried to use my comedy powers for good as much as I could. The edgiest thing I remember us doing, and we got in trouble for this, was there was a rumor going around that there was a threesome that had occurred
Oh.
on the football field at the 50-yard line.
There was a threesome at your high school?
This was a rumor.
There was a threesome on the football field.
On the football field at the 50-yard line.
Okay.
And it was
while you were at school.
2 guys and a girl.
Okay.
And the rumor was that the guys who were like best friends, they would yell switch every once in a while, and they would switch positions.
Okay.
So we heard about this and we were like, well, we can't write that into the sketch. But what we can do is we can say we're going to tease something next week. We're going to do like a next time on the Pep Boy sketch. And it's going to be the adventures of these 2 guys. And we were going to be like, we're going to tease it. It's going to be them hanging out. And who knows what's going to happen. And then we'll just do something dumb next week when it actually happens. But I guess the rumor had spread to the faculty also. And so as soon as we did that, we basically got like banned from doing a skit that week.
So they never got the to be continued?
Never got the to be continued. Which in a way, I think made everybody look more guilty of the rumor than it actually was. Because we weren't going to actually do anything related to the rumor. We're just going to be like having these 2 guys hanging out. Yeah, we got in trouble one time. We had my middle school principal became my high school principal, and she still acted like a middle school principal, and she was real petty. And we had our team name was the Panthers, and whenever our football team would score, we would run flags up and down the field that said Panthers. One time we were blowing out this other team. It was like 42-0 at halftime. And so we were like, this is going to be funny. We have to run the flags at the start of the second half. Let's just run the word pants instead of Panthers. We're 16, 17. This is goofy.
Yeah.
We got banned from the field for the next week after that.
What? Why?
Because the principal thought we were making fun of the fact that she wore capris all the time. She was like, they're talking about my pants.
Yeah.
They're blowing up my spot on these pants to all their little friends. We didn't know. But we had to get sat down by our faculty advisor the next week, and he was like, you guys are banned from the football field because you ran the word pants. And there's nothing I can do. And we were like, what did we do? What did we get in trouble for?
Right. And you're like, we weren't doing that. And they're like, yeah, likely story.
Yeah, exactly.
That's hilarious. You weren't a sports kid. It sounds like you were more of a comedy kid.
I was more of a theater. Yeah, started doing theater in 8th grade. I was doing high school theater every year. High school, I started doing debate and speech. So I was.
What was your like biggest performance you think of high school?
I never got like a big role in a play or a musical or anything.
Yeah, me neither.
But I did really well in speech and debate. I was a 2-time state finalist. I was 5th place in the state. In this event called Original Oratory. I didn't know
I should have rolled out the red carpet when you got here.
Yeah, I back in my old childhood bedroom, staying at my parents' place, looking at these trophies on the wall. So I'm carrying this energy, this aura in here today, Alex.
I was wondering why there was a glow in your eyes.
That's how you know.
Yeah.
Oh, and in elementary school. I don't know if this record still holds, but in 5th grade, I was the first kid at my elementary school to ever win the geography bee and the spelling bee in the same year.
Okay.
Big deal, big stuff. I think my biggest like notable performance, I was a perennial like talent show kid. I started doing magic when I was a child.
No, you didn't.
I did.
You were a child magician?
I was a child magician. The only appropriate kind of magician, by the way. There should not be adult magicians, only child magicians. You should stop doing magic the moment that like your balls drop and you lose your virginity. That's my stance, and I'm sticking to it.
Cut. Send it to David Copperfield.
But I was doing magic. I had planned to do a magic act during the talent show. And I was like, this is going to go great. It's been going great so far since 7th grade, once I first started doing magic at the talent shows. But my plan, I have one of my friends is hosting the talent show. He was a little older. And I'm like, I'm going to need you to help me out with a trick. The plan was I was going to have him and another assistant carry out a big canvas sheet. And the trick was I get wrapped up in the sheet, and then all of a sudden, they unfurl the sheet and I'm no longer there. And then I come in from the back of the auditorium and everybody carries
Like a
me out on
straight-up
their
Chris
shoulders.
Angel. Yeah.
Exactly.
Yeah.
I'm like, this is my chance. But I did not practice it with them beforehand. And
The most important part of any magic trick.
So the magic of this trick is really pretty basic. While the sheet is being carried out, the sheet is long enough that I am supposed to be able to run past it and exit without it being fully revealed.
Okay.
And unfortunately, the two people, my friend and the assistant, who were
This is straight up reminding me of that scene at the beginning of a Goofy movie.
Dude.
Where they're trying to impress all the chicks with the standout dance.
This was my moment. This was my standout moment. They walk a little too fast, and so I don't have enough time to go off stage hidden behind the sheet. But I do what I think is the next best thing, not thinking about it. I'm like, I got to get out of here. I jump, and I'm like, they're not going to see me. But of course, there's a big gap. And so I jump, and then everybody sees me, and they start laughing. And my mom was filming it, and she goes, oh, shit, and shuts the camera off. And I was so embarrassed.
Do you have that on tape still?
It's got to be somewhere at my parents' house. So then I stopped doing magic in public after that. But then...
Wait, did you do the reveal?
I'm trying to do the reveal.
So everyone just laughed.
And everyone's laughing. And I run. I'm still like, I'm going to make it. I'm going to run back in. But everybody's like, they've already moved on to the next act.
Okay.
And I'm the laughing stock of the whole school. But then a year goes by. And I'm like, well, if I'm going to do magic again at the talent show and show these kids that I'm good at this, I got to actually learn how to do magic better and practice. So I start really hitting the bricks and practicing. It's like when Batman is in the underground.
Yeah.
Where he gets thrown into the prison by Bane. Yeah. This is me. I was doing push-ups in the dark. I get a new trick, and I've learned a few new tricks for the show, but I buy one myself. Classic, the disappearing ketchup bottle. And the whole premise of the trick is you take the bottle of ketchup and you go, I'm going to make this bottle of ketchup disappear. And you pull out a paper bag and you cover the ketchup bottle with the paper bag. And you go, look, I made it disappear. And the crowd's like, this kid again. I can already tell in my head. They're like, this guy thinks he's so clever and he's going to be making big mistakes.
Yeah.
I'm like, I see you guys don't believe me. And the crowd is like starting to get upset because they're like, what's this idiot's problem? So I'm like, I'll show you. I'm going to make it vanish. I put the bottle in the bag and I flip the bag over and I'm holding onto the bottle. And I'm like, look, it's gone. Right? I'm checking inside the bag. I'm like, oh, look, it's gone. And they're like, no, you're holding it. And then I'm like, you guys are right. This is pretty dumb. And then you crumple the paper bag up and throw the paper bag off stage.
So it does disappear.
The moment I crumpled up the paper bag, the gasp from the crowd and then rapturous applause, which was also caught on tape.
Okay.
I was like, cool, I'm set.
So you redeemed yourself.
I redeemed myself.
That's awesome.
So that was I think that was the best performance that I ever had.
I'm so proud of you.
Thank you. I'm proud of me too. Never achieved the heights of that ever again, magically.
That's awesome. You got to take that on to that Penn and Teller show.
Penn and Teller fool us.
Yes.
Oh yeah, I could fool him.
I think you could. You've had so many good stories. I wish we had more time.
Well, you got to have me on another time.
Yeah,
we can tell more stories.
Would like Jay back? Leave some comments down below, and we'll have him back to tell us how to build that pipe bomb.
Yes, I'll see if I can find my old copy of the Anarchist Cookbook that probably had stashed away on.
That you took out from the church library.
It's in there. Leap year guy. That was after he taught us how to talk to the cops correctly. Yeah. It's so that you could get away with putting pipe bombs wherever you like to put them.
Before you go, I asked the same 4 questions to everybody to wrap up the podcast.
All right.
You ready for the gauntlet?
Hit me.
Question number 1. What is the first memory you have that's just like a happy memory from childhood?
Ooh, first happy memory from childhood.
Not necessarily like your earliest memory, just the first one you think of.
I remember when I was, I don't exactly, I think this was in San Diego, so when it was sometime between the ages of 3 and 5. And I remember we would go to this Mexican restaurant all the time, and I always ordered a cheeseburger, but they would never let me order an adult one. They would always make me get it off the kids menu. And I remember one time I convinced the people at the restaurant to give me the adult cheeseburger, and I ate it. And then the next memory I have is being carried back to where we lived at the time. I was like in one of my parents' arms. I think it was my dad's. But like I blacked out from eating a cheeseburger as a toddler, basically, and that's one of the first happy memories I have.
I love that one.
It's clear as day.
I almost wish that was my childhood memory. That sounds amazing. Question 2. You kind of already talked about this earlier, but I don't know if you have a different one. A memory from your childhood where you just remember being proud of yourself.
The first one that comes to mind, like I said, I was really bad at baseball, but I had one really good game. I hit 2 for 3, and one of those hits was a double that was like soared. It was like, I thought it was going to be a home run for sure, but it was like deep. It was the best ball I ever hit. And I think
in your memory, it went like 300 feet in the sky.
Yeah.
Past a NASA shuttle.
It was the kind that like if it was in a regular major league ballpark, they would have played like something cool on the Jumbotron.
Yeah. You were remember that movie Rookie of the Year?
Yeah.
That was Jay.
That was me. So that was like the moment of like that happening and seeing the ball and the coach just being like, run, go. It's go. Everybody's so surprised that I'm pulling this off.
You're running in slow motion.
It felt like, I had like chariots of fire. But then
I haven't ran this fast since I hit that porn tape.
Yeah. But getting that game ball, I still have that game ball in my closet at home. Yeah.
That's awesome.
And it was a real, like, the only good time I'll ever have a sports memory is that.
Yeah, that's awesome. That's a great memory. You ready for question 3?
Hit me.
If you could go back and give little Jay a piece of advice, what would it be?
Don't abandon your nerd friends at school. Hang out with the nerd kids. You don't need to be a popular kid. They're just mean to you. I had so much fun with the people who were actually my friends, like in elementary school, that if I had spent time hanging out with them at school to the same degree that I like cared about trying to be popular and hang out with popular kids at school, I think it would have been a totally different childhood.
Yeah, I think when you're a kid, you just think you got to be with people that you don't necessarily need to.
Yeah.
You just need to be yourself, really.
Yeah.
Last question. Every time I have a guest on the podcast, before they come, I always ask them their favorite childhood snack.
Yes.
I'm sure you remember what you said.
I do.
But for people listening, what is your favorite childhood snack?
I like pretzel goldfish, underrated, second place. But I love me some cheddar goldfish.
The reason I ask is every time I have a guest, I get them a gift. And I got you cheddar goldfish.
Oh, my God.
And I got you pretzel
goldfish.
My
God. Oh, my God. Alex.
Head to gladpod.com for more podcasts or to support us on Patreon. Either way, I am so glad that you were here.